Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Where are we today? Well, we are going somewhere special, somewhere remote, somewhere in Singapore where we call Ulu or remote. And we're gonna go there today and we're gonna visit this place. So if you want to know where we are going to, well, you know what to do. You just need to wait until after the intro and I will show you where we are going to. Join me. And welcome back. So, have you guessed it? Do you know where we're going? We're actually going past a huge body of water here. And where are we finally reaching? Well, we are going to this place you may have heard of, called the Sungei Buloh Nature Reserve. Yes, we are going all the way to the northeast of Singapore to visit a place that I'm sure many of you haven't visited before, but it's one of the very natural, very interesting places that we can visit here in Singapore, which is the Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. And if you want to find out more, the only thing you can do is to join me for my adventure here. So let's get to it. So where are we today? We are actually along the northwest area in Singapore, along this road here. As you can see, one end to the other end, it's just a big long road and nothing seems to be here. To get here, we will go through an industrial area, and what we're going to do now is we're going to cross the road, and when we do that, we'll be at one of the entrances of this place called the Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. And this place here is a nature reserve, and this place is also a very important area because of what this area represents. This area here is a stopover point for migratory birds. So birds flying in from as far as Mongolia, heading towards Australia, will stop by this wetland reserve, Sungei Buloh, to rest before they continue their journey. And that is why this place here is a very important place. This place was officially opened as a nature park in only 1993, and in 2002, 130 hectares was officially gazetted as a nature reserve, and this place here was renamed the Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. And here we are heading towards now is the visitor center, and in front of the visitor center they actually made a small little pond here with lots of fishes in the water. But in front of us there is the visitor center, and what you can do here is you can come here, get some information about the place, get some maps. They are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, but how do I say this? The bus heading into this area here, for example, the nearest MRT station is actually Kranji MRT station. The bus that's heading into this area will only stop in front of this visitor center or this entrance on weekdays. And if you want to go to the other gate, which is much further in, that one, the bus operating that route only comes in during the weekends. And behind the visitor center, there's this area here where you can look out across the water. And in the distance, what you see is actually Johor. Yes, Johor. And this is part of the Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve. In the past, this place was called Sungei Buloh Nature Park, but it was renamed, like I told you earlier, in 2003 to Sungei Buloh Wetland Reserve after they expanded the place. And here is where we are going to begin our journey. And there are a lot of boardwalks along here. Earlier, closer to the visitor center, they were doing some construction, so I didn't really film part of my walk along the seaside. But we're continuing here, and what we're heading out to here now is another of the boardwalks. And now we're heading towards one of the interesting areas at this wetland reserve, which they call Eagle Point. And here, as you can see, these are mangrove swamps along the seaside here. And if we keep heading up here, we're actually on an elevated boardwalk that will bring us along the mud flats, as you can see right in front here. And these are the mud flats along Sungei Buloh. And right in front of us, in the distance, in the horizon, is actually Johor. And along these mud flats here, it is actually a perfect place for you to actually look at birds. And many people do come here with cameras, with long lenses to capture these birds, pictures of these birds. And here, like I said earlier, is the mangrove swamp. But the birds that we are looking for is actually on the other side, nearer to the sea, where there is a rich food source for the birds, especially in the mud area here. And like I said, this place here is Eagle Point, a very beautiful place with lots of things to see if you are willing to spend the time to look for them. Here again is the mangrove swamp, and we are reaching towards the Eagle Point here, which is actually an area that is actually jutting out over the mud. So this place here, like I told you earlier, is a very good place, especially when the sea is coming in at the edge here, for you to catch migrating birds. And they do come here to rest, to eat, to rest, and before they continue their trip along whichever place they're going to. And these muddy waters here, even though to our eyes we can't really see anything, but for birds, this place is a sanctuary for them. And now that it's being preserved, it's even better. And just imagine, in the past, this is one of the birds here, as you can see. Unfortunately, my camera lens is not so powerful that I can get a very good view of them. But I just want to bring up this point for you. You saw earlier in the horizon that you can see Johor. And just imagine, in the past, before industrialization, Johor would have most probably looked much like this side here, and that side there would have been full of mangrove swamps too, and full of migratory birds too. And here you can see more birds. Looks like an egret, but I can't really tell much from here. But it's really beautiful. Looking at the birds, looking at Johor in the distance, and looking at the mud flats here, and then the mangrove swamp. And inside the mangrove swamp is where we're going to continue our journey to go further in to see what else we can find there. And I must say, this place here is a very good place for you to come and see, especially if you love nature. This place here is filled with nature, full of flora and fauna. And not only can you see the mangrove forest here on this side here, and then you also can see tidal pools and a lot of interesting things, rivers and stuff. So it's a very good place to walk. And here, as you can see, a perfect example of a mangrove swamp. And also, what can I say about this place? This place here, you can tell that, in the past, people didn't build HDB flats here. People didn't really clear off this place. I mean, there were mangrove swamps here. They were places where they used for maybe agriculture, but it still remained nature. I mean, there are still trees here, and still, they didn't really clear up everything to make it into a sterile location like how you see across the waters at Johor. And just imagine, in the past, Johor used to look very much like this, especially at the shoreline, with trees and mud, and then with all the different types of animals and flora and fauna. Like I said, a very beautiful place to look. And look, they actually cleared off this area here so that we can actually have a look at the animals living in the mud. And if you zoom in, what do you see? Look at that. That shell is moving. So I suspect it's probably some kind of maybe snail or some kind of animal or sea creature. And here you can see, I think it's a crab. Look at that. A mangrove crab living here. So like I said, you see a different class of animals that you don't see at other places. And if I spend more time here, I'm sure you will see much more different things here. And this place here is magnificent. Lots of nature, and if you love nature, this is the place that you have to come. And unfortunately, this also ends the first part. We just stepped into this nature reserve and really saw so many things, and there's even more things to see. So join me for my next video, part 2, where you will see more of the wetland reserve and all the things you can see there. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too looking forward to it. And before we go, please do me a favor. Please help me by liking my video, sharing my video, and also subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get the latest notification of my videos. And lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you have to do is to join me for my next adventure. I will see you there. Bye bye.